So, dear students, chapter A House is Not a Home. Let's read the concluding part of the story. So, we have read up to the part where we find that after the house was burnt, and the narrator, it was for the narrator, it was hard to believe what was happening, and she was feeling insecure too. So after school, when she walked through what used to be her house, she was shocked to see how much damage there was, and there was no time to grieve as well. So her mother rushed her out of the house. They borrowed the money from the narrator's grandparents. They also rented an apartment nearby. So when the debris of their burnt house was being cleared off, the narrator came there every day hoping that the cat was somewhere to be found. The narrator said that it always seems that bad news spreads quickly. And in my case, it was no different. So Zan thought that bad news spreads faster because everyone, including all the teachers, knew about her sad story, about her plight, about her condition. So she says everyone in high school, including the teachers, was aware of my plight. So plight here means the condition, sad story, her situation. She says I was embarrassed as if somehow I were responsible. What a way to start off at a new school. This was not the kind of attention I was looking for. So Zan felt embarrassed as if she was guilty for all that had happened. She was responsible for all that has happened. She started feeling guilty for all this. She was getting attention for all the wrong reasons because she says this was the start. That she had never wanted to. She wanted to become famous. She wanted to make friends there. दोस्त बनाना चाहती थी. Teachers की good books में आना चाहती थी. But not this way. अब क्या था हालात कि वो लोग उसके बारे में बात कर रहे थे. They were talking about her sad condition, that how she lost everything. She lost her house, everything, and now she had to stay in a rented apartment. The next day at school, people were acting even more strange than usual. So, narrator, when she went to school next day, she found that it was also an unusual one, and people they were acting little strange that day. I was getting ready for gym class at my locker. People were milling around me, asking me to hurry up. So she says that she was changing for the gym class when students gathered around her. Milling around means they were gathering around her and asking her to hurry. People were milling around asking me to hurry up. I thought it strange, but in the light of the past few weeks, nothing would surprise me. So she was accustomed to such kind of strange happenings, and so she did not react much. She says that she was used to such kind of strange things happening to her these days. So this was also a kind of strange thing again, and she did not feel surprised anymore. It almost seemed that they were trying to shove me into the gym. Then I saw why. Shove me means to push me. So she says that all it seemed as if they were trying to push her to enter into the gym class, and then there she realized the reason when she reached there. So when she reached the gym class, she came to know what was the reason. There was a big table set up with all kinds of stuff on it just for me. So at the center of the class, there was a table full of articles there, and those articles were all for the narrator. They had taken up a collection and bought me. They here refers to the school students, teachers. So they have taken up a collection. They have collected things for narrator and bought some school supplies, notebooks, all kinds of different clothes, jeans, tops, sweatsuits, etc. It was like Christmas. So when Zan entered the gym class, she found that there was a table full of articles like notebooks, clothes, stationery items, and to her it felt like it was Christmas time. उसको ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे मानो Christmas आ गया हो, because during Christmas people exchange gifts, they give gifts to each other, and thus she felt as if it was Christmas time and people were giving gifts to her. I was overcome by emotion. People who had never spoken to me before were coming up to me to introduce themselves. I got all kinds of invitation to their houses. So narrator, she became emotional. So overcome by emotion means she became sentimental, she became emotional on seeing all these things in front of her, the gesture shown by the students and the teachers of the new school. And people, they were coming to her, they were introducing themselves to her, and now she had made new friends. उसके वहां पर नए दोस्त बन चुके थे. They invited her to their houses for all other reason, for partying there, spending time with her. So they all invited, she got all kind of invitation to their houses. Their genuine outpouring of concern means the emotions that they had expressed. So the way they expressed themselves, genuine means honest, real. So their genuine outpouring of concern really touched me. So she was moved by the concern shown by all of them, and it touched her heart. And she says कि उनकी ये जो बातें थी वो उसके दिल को छू गई. So it all really touched me. In that instant, means in that moment, I finally breathed a sigh of relief and thought for the first time that things were going to be okay. I made friends that day, and the narrator felt relieved because it was for the first time that she felt something good was happening to her. She had made new friends that day. So उसने एक चैन की सांस ली. Sigh of relief means she felt relaxed. She was now not worried about her future because अब उसके पास दोस्त थे. She was not alone there. And it was for the first time she believed in the fact that now things were going to be okay in her life. A month later, I was at my house watching them rebuild it. But this time it was different. I wasn't alone. So अब एक महीने का समय बीत चुका है, and she would visit the house watching them rebuild it. So them here refers to people building the house again. It might include the neighbors and those who were helping them. And she says that this time it was different. Why? Because she wasn't alone. She was accompanied by her friends also that time. I was with two of my new friends from school. So this time, two of her friends, they accompanied her when she went to see her house being built there. It took a fire for me to stop focusing on my feelings of insecurity and open up to all the wonderful people around me. So if you remember in the beginning of the story, we have read that how the narrator was feeling insecure. The narrator was facing problem in coping up with the new environment of the school. So she says that this incident actually transformed her. And she says it took a fire for this transformation. कि उसने जो realize किया, जो feeling of insecurity थी, कैसे वो शुरुआत में नए स्कूल में एडजस्ट नहीं कर पा रही थी, नए दोस्त नहीं बना पा रही थी, उनका मन नहीं लग रहा था, तो ये जो इनसिक्योरिटी की फीलिंग्स थी, उनका ध्यान इन सब से हट गया. एंड शी स्टॉप्ड बीइंग नेगेटिव एट दैट मोमेंट एंड शी हैड नाउ मेड न्यू फ्रेंड्स. सो वो कहती हैं कि इट टुक अ फायर फॉर मी टू स्टॉप फोकसिंग ऑन माई फीलिंग्स ऑफ इनसिक्योरिटी. जितने भी नेगेटिव थॉट्स थे वो सारे दूर हो गए, एंड ओपन अप टू ऑल द वंडरफुल पीपल around me. So she realized that how the people around her, they were friendly. So she had made friends with those people, and now she was among her friends. अब वो उनके साथ थी, अकेली नहीं थी. And she says that now I was sitting there watching my house being rebuilt when I realized my life was doing the same thing. तो वो क्या कहती हैं कि जिस तरह से उसका घर दोबारा बन रहा था, हर लाइफ वाज आल्सो बीइंग रीबिल्ट. उनका जीवन भी नए सिरे से शुरू हो चुका था. सो अब वो अकेली नहीं थी. उन्होंने अपने जीवन में एक पॉजिटिव आउटलुक डेवलप कर लिया था, और इस पॉजिटिविटी के साथ शी फेल्ट दैट हर लाइफ वाज आल्सो बीइंग रीबिल्ट. उनका जीवन भी अब नए सिरे से शुरू हो रहा था. अब वो अकेली नहीं थी, उनका घर भी बन रहा था. सो एवरीथिंग वाज कमिंग बैक टू नॉर्मल देन. When we sat there on the curb planning my new bedroom, I heard someone walk up to me from behind and say, "Does this belong to you?" जब वो कर्ब पे बैठी थी, कर्ब एक जगह होती है जैसे स्ट्रीट के साइड पे जो ड्रेन्स बनी होती है, एंड अ प्लेटफॉर्म इज बिल्ट जस्ट टू कवर इट अप, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड curve. So planning my new bedroom. So when she was sitting along with their friends on the curb, they were planning about the new bedroom, how that is going to be decorated. So they were sitting on the pavement there planning for Zan's new bedroom. Someone came to her, walked up to her from behind and asked if the cat she was holding belonged to her. So she was holding the cat and she asked कि क्या ये आपको belong करती है? So when I turned around to see who it was, I couldn't believe my eyes. A woman was standing there holding my cat. I leapt up and grabbed her out of the woman's arms. So when Zan she turned and she looked that the woman was holding her pet cat. She grabbed her, she jumped out of her seat and she grabbed the cat and she held her close and cried. So, uh, so when she saw the woman holding her cat, she could not control herself and she just leapt up, means she jumped up from the pavement and she grabbed her out of the woman's arm. उसने उस औरत के हाथों से अपनी कैट को अपनी बाहों में ले लिया. I held her close to me and cried into that beautiful orange fur. Orange fur here refers to the fur of the cat. The cat was brownish orange in color, so she was holding it. And she says that when she found the cat, when she hugged the cat, she felt actually. She became emotional and she cried. She started crying happily. She purred happily. She here refers to the cat also. Purr means a sound made by the cat. So the cat also purred happily. And the author says, my friends were hugging me, hugging the cat, and jumping around. So on union with her cat, and when she met the cat also felt the same happiness. And Zan's friends, they shared the happiness with her. They hugged the cat, they hugged Zan, and they started jumping around her. खुशी से वो चारों जो दोस्त थे वो चारों ओर जंप करने लगे. They started hugging each other, sharing the happiness of finding the cat back. Apparently, my cat had been so freaked by the fire that she ran over a mile away. So the narrator, she understood the fact that the cat might have got panicked because of the fire. She got afraid and she ran over a mile away. So ये बात साफ थी कि जो कैट थी, घर में आग लगने की वजह से वो दूर निकल गई थी एंड फ्रीक्ड आउट हो गई थी. फ्रीक्ड आउट मीन्स जब आप लॉजिकली नहीं बिहेव करते हो, अजीब सा बिहेव करते हो, डर जाते हो किसी चीज से. सो दैट वे शी जस्ट फ्रीक्ड आउट by the fire and she ran over a mile. वैसे भी जो जानवर होते हैं, they are afraid of fire. Her collar had our phone number on it, but our phones had been destroyed and disconnected. So cat के गले में एक कॉलर भी था एंड उस पे फोन नंबर वाज रिटन ऑन इट. सो although their phone number was written on the collar, but as their phone had been destroyed in the fire, the woman could not contact them. So it was difficult for the woman to find the owner of the cat. So जो फोन लाइंस थे वो आग में जल गई थी, सारे डिस्कनेक्ट हो चुके थे और इस वजह से ओनर से कांटेक्ट नहीं हो सका था. This wonderful woman took her in and worked hard to find out whose cat it was. तो ऑथर कहते हैं वो वंडरफुल वुमन जो है उस वुमन को कह रहे हैं जो उनकी कैट को ढूंढ के लाई थी. So she is using this adjective wonderful for her, that how nice she was, how kind she was, that she took the cat in her house and thus she made all possible efforts to trace their address through the number and thus she reached them. So उन्होंने सारी कोशिशें की ताकि वो उस कैट के ओनर को ढूंढ सके. And when she found the owner, she brought the cat to narrator. Somehow she knew this cat was loved and sorely missed. Sorely missed means deeply missed. So she could easily make out that the cat was being missed by her master. And because the cat was also sad and missed him, so वो ये जान चुकी थी कि ये जो कैट है ये किसी की पेट कैट है और इसे ज़रूर कोई मिस कर रहा है, डीपली मिस कर रहा है, एंड दैट्स व्हाई शी मेड ऑल पॉसिबल एफर्ट्स so that she could return the cat to the rightful owner. As I sat there with my friends, my cat curled up in my lap. All the overwhelming feelings of loss and tragedy seemed to diminish. So, author कहते हैं कि when she sat with her cat and her friends, the sadness disappeared. जो उदासी थी वो सारी खो चुकी थी, जो फीलिंग्स ऑफ लॉस थी ट्रेजेडी की वजह से, जो इनसिक्योरिटी वो फील कर रही थी, अब वो सारी चीजें धीरे धीरे खत्म हो रही थी. डिमिनिश मीन्स फेड ऑफ, डिक्रीज हो जाना, कम हो जाना. तो बाकी चीजें जब दोस्त बन गए स्कूल में, उनको लोग पसंद करने लगे, उससे थोड़े बहुत हालात सुधरे थे, और कैट के वापस आते ही बाकी जो कमियां रह गई थी, जो फीलिंग ऑफ लॉस था, वो भी अब धीरे धीरे कम हो रहा था. I felt gratitude for my life, my new friends, the kindness of a stranger, and the loud purr of my beloved cat. My cat was back, and so was I. So the narrator was extremely happy and was thankful for getting a new life, which got him new friends, got her friends, a kind woman who returned her cat and her pet cat. She got a new life. So she says that my cat was back and so was I. So she got the cat back in her life, and she says that my life was also back. Here it means that now she was no longer sad and depressed. She was actually taking interest in her life. She has again, once again, become energetic, enthusiastic about her life, and now she did not feel the sad or depression anymore. So thus we see that how Zan, she became full of life when she got back her cat, and she realized that life was not about the materialistic possessions that we have, but life is about the love and affection. And when you are with your loved ones together, that is what life is, and that is what makes a house a home. And this is what the title of the story, that a house is not a home. सो हम यहाँ क्या देखते हैं कि किस तरह से जैन गॉडियोसो एक चाइल्डहुड इंसिडेंट बताती हैं, और इसके माध्यम से वो हमें क्या समझाना चाहती हैं, दैट हाउ अ हाउस विच इज मेड ऑफ bricks, cement, mortar, it never constitute into a home. It becomes home only with the love, affection and care of the loved ones, the near and dear ones. So जरूरी नहीं है कि एक पर्टिकुलर घर ही आपका घर हो. वेर एवर योर लव्ड वंस आर विद यू, दैट प्लेस बिकम्स योर होम. राइट. सो इस तरह से हम देखते हैं कि कैसे एक हाउस इज नॉट अ होम. होम कब बनता है? जब आपके चाहने वाले आपके साथ हैं, आपके दोस्त आपके साथ हैं, आपके वो लोग जो आपका ध्यान रखते हैं, आपकी केयर करते हैं. तो अगर ऐसे लोग कहीं भी आपके साथ हो, वो जो जगह है वो आपका घर बन जाती है. एंड दिस इज हाउ द नरेटर फेल्ट दैट, उन्होंने इस बात को रियलाइज किया कि उनकी जो लाइफ थी वो सिर्फ मटेरियलिस्टिक पोजेशंस की वजह से नहीं सीमित थी, उनकी उन तक ही नहीं सीमित थी. इट ऑल्सो हैड द लव एंड अफेक्शन ऑफ हर नियर एंड डियर वंस. एंड सो व्हेन एवरीथिंग वाज बैक, व्हेन शी वाज विद हर फ्रेंड्स, उनके जो नेबर्स थे, उनके दोस्त थे, जब वो उनको देखती हैं, उनकी खुशियां उनके साथ बांटती है, उनको ऐसा महसूस होता है कि वही उनका असली घर है. द लव एंड अफेक्शन एंड बीइंग विद वंस loved ones, that is what makes a house a home. So I hope the story is clear to you all, students. So keep reading. Thank you all. Tomorrow we will discuss the questions which is given at the back of the chapter. So keep reading. Thank you.